15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
My dad used to say that.
Sure, yeah. It's from Geico.
Yeah, whenever I would ask my dad for life advice, he'd sit me down and say, son, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. And look at me now, a well-adjusted adult with a drawer full of plastic bags I'll never use.
Okay, I'm confused. Was your dad a licensed Geico agent?
Nah, he was just a real good dad.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hey, folks, we've been trying to highlight today, and then these athletes are good enough to share some time with us. The North Dakota Sports Hall of Fame, which they don't brag about, but they deserve to brag about. One of those individuals is Travis Hafner from Sikeston, North Dakota. I've got a list of things I can sit here and just rattle off, but, we can do stats all day, or we can let him get back to his kids. He's drafted by the Texas Rangers, traded to the Cleveland Indians. This is a man that played for a lot of different teams, and everybody he played for liked him. I think that's the cool part. How does a young man, Travis, from Sikeston, North Dakota? Good to have you with us, first off, Travis. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
How does a young man from Sikeston, North Dakota feel when he finds himself playing in Major League Baseball parks the way you did?
It was incredible. I mean, just growing up, that was what I always wanted to do since I was 4 years old. And I remember writing papers in high school about how that's what I wanted to do. And our guidance counselor was like, you need a backup plan. And I was always like, no backup plan for me. It just was something I always wanted to do. And I worked hard at it. And I remember the very first game that I played in a Major League Stadium, you just look out and you're in awe. Like, man, I finally got here. This is incredible.
Yeah, just for an example, folks, he hit home runs in 6 straight games, the second longest such streak in Cleveland history. That tells you a little bit. Travis, when you walk out of that tunnel and you get a chance to see that ballpark, I love Jack Brown Stadium, but it's not Jack Brown Stadium. What does it feel like when you see all those seats and everything just manicured like that?
Yeah, it really is incredible, just the level of detail and the amount of people that they have work at those ballparks, and to have them in the shape that they're in. I mean, it's really incredible to, just stepping out there and seeing like how pristine it is. And it's just wow, what a great atmosphere to play baseball on.
The friends you must make playing for the teams that you played for and the life that you live in comparison of the life you're living now as a father. I mean, what is that like to be hanging out with Major League ball players and know that you're one of the top players with them?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's definitely a brotherhood in Major League Baseball, and even, professional baseball, like really any type of baseball. I do a lot of youth baseball now. I coach my 11-year-old son. I coach Little League, and, just there's a brotherhood with a lot of the coaches there. But, a lot of those big league players are just, down to earth, humble dudes, and you kind of have to be fairly humble to be a baseball player because you get a lot of humble pie. But definitely, I've been really blessed to just make a lot of great friendships over the years and meet a lot of really nice people, a lot of cool people, and yeah, it was a great experience, and those relationships will last a long time.
See, I don't think it's fair of your son. He brings dad's coaching, Little League Baseball. How would you like to have, folks, the dad that played Major League Baseball and popped as many home runs as what Travis Hafner did? I mean, if you're his son, you've got a pretty broad chest. It'd be a good day. Is it humbling to coach Major League Little League Baseball, Travis? I mean, how do you react to something like that?
I mean, there's a lot of ways I could go with that answer. I mean, there are certain teams that have been around for a lot of years, and they can, they have a ton of good players, and they can come and blow your doors off, and you're like, wow, what just happened? But, just kind of like, I guess, teaching the kids the right way to play the game, the life lessons that you can get from the game, and just, a lot of it isn't even comparing yourself to other teams. It's kind of like, this is where we started, and this is where we're at after a season, and then this is where we're at after season 2, and just kind of watch that development and growth is really cool to see in the kids.
Just want people to know he's the first player in Major League history to hit 5 Grand Slams before the All-Star break. That's another stat that I definitely wanted to share with you. Travis, when you look at the teams that you've played on, and you take a look at, the men that you played with, give me a couple of the memories that you sit back and say, look, this one's always going to be there for me.
Yeah, well, I only made the playoffs one time in my big league career, and we played the Yankees in 2007, and we beat them. I was able to get a walk-off hit in Game 2, and that was like the bug game that a lot of people know. And then we were able to play the Red Sox, and we lost in a Game 7 in Fenway, but just being in the postseason was incredible. When I was with the Yankees, that was a great experience, going to spring training, and Reggie Jackson's there, and Bruce Gossage, and all these guys are coming in. And that was also, Mariano's last season and Andy Pettit's last season. So to be there for those moments, that was special too. I mean, we had an opening day game that got snowed out. 4 2/3 innings in of a no-hitter, 1 out away from a no-hitter, actually 1 strike away from a no-hitter. And Mike Hargrove came out for the Mariners and was like, our guys can't see, and they canceled the game right there. So I know I'm missing like a ton of stuff, but those are some things that, just kind of pop up immediately.
That first time wearing pinstripes when you came out of that tunnel and you're a New York Yankee, what did that feel like? That had to be a little bit different feeling.
Yeah, it's strange because your whole career, you always want to play the Yankees and you want to beat the Yankees. But then when you're on the other end and you have a chance to play for them, and you can kind of feel all that history, and, definitely the fans there are great, and they have a huge following for the Yankees. So, I mean, that was pretty special too. That was a great experience as well.
Well, I know you got to get going and be a father. Last question, I promise. To be inducted in North Dakota's Sports Hall of Fame, I was there that night. I saw the love that people had for you in the room and the pride that they had for a fellow North Dakotan. What was going through your mind that night when you were inducted in the Sports Hall of Fame?
It's such a great honor. I mean, growing up in the state and just kind of seeing a lot of these guys, whether it's Mr. Basketball, I was like a big basketball player, coming up, and, seeing all these guys that went on to play in the NFL or the NHL. And it was just really cool to be in that company of, so many of the great athletes that kind of went before me and were, even the same age as me now. So definitely like a huge honor. I was really pumped about it.
Well, you've earned it. And the next time that you play for the Jamestown Merchants, I think Jeff Gould will know to start you. How's that? I had to throw that cheap shot in there. Travis, you go be a dad. I appreciate you coming on with us.
All right. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet. Travis Hafner, ladies and gentlemen.